Because I want to run AC on this build, I need to do a couple things. I need to get the AC lines off the Camry, which I've already done, and I've taken off the AC lines on the MR2. We've got to get them welded so that they fit the condenser correctly. I need to do some measurements. Yeah, so I need to go ahead and remove the cluster gauge as well from the Camry because we need to merge those two so we can get the correct speed reading, the correct RPM, all that kind of stuff, I guess. Paul has told me to do that. Over here we have Mr. Lachlan and Yaki still painting his rims. Almost there. He's going to paint them. Should look really good on the Integra. Oh, okay. I'll just bleep it out. But yeah, Lachlan's going and cleaning his MR2. The AC lines were pretty easy to remove. We just went ahead and we used some two adjustable spanners to remove them from there. We also removed the engine mount because we're going to be replacing it with a polyurethane one. This video is not going to be that entertaining, I feel, because there's just a whole lot of small shit that I gotta get in and get sorted before we actually put the engine in. In the previous video, you saw us put the wiring harness on the car. There are a few little plugs that I'm unsure about, but I've already contacted Paul to find out where everything goes. It is literally a plug and play wiring harness. So we're gonna go ahead and take the gauge cluster out of the Camry because, like I said, we need to merge the two. The Camry's just been sitting here. Poor girl, no engine, needs to remove this bad boy. Oh my God, there you go. It's all pretty much ready to move. It honestly hurts my soul every time I see this Camry in the backyard. It was a perfectly good running car and I took its heart and I'm chucking in my other car. It is for the greater good. Let's be real, a V6 swapped MR2 is going to be a lot cooler than a Camry. One like for the Camry. No. So it's the next day and like I said, we need to go get this engine mount right over here. I need to get some polyurethane bushings in them. So what I'm going to do is get that. I'm going to go to a friend's place and he's got a press and he's going to press out that old bushing for me. And check this out. Have a look at my ride. Look at this. Never thought I'd see the day of Lachlan owning a 90s Jap car.
Did say it would come.
It's even manual too. The MR2, crazy. Looks good, dude. The color looks nice. Everything works. Not bad, not bad. It's stupid loud. You can see it, dude, so easily because it's yellow in the reflection.
Yep.
Oh! Oh! Hot damn. All right, we have the bushing finally removed from the engine mount. Thank you to George for doing that for me. So I don't know if I said yesterday if this video was going to be all over the place, and it's going to be all over the place because there's a lot of things that I need to do, a lot of small little things that's going to be over a couple days. So like I said, I need to do those AC lines, I need to paint the engine mounts, I need to help Lachlan with his MR2, stuff for the swap pretty much. I'm still waiting on that serpentine belt that runs the AC and the alternator. That's not going to come till the end of the week, so I'm going to try to include that in this video. Also, I want to talk about something that I have in mind for the MR2. Since I have a lot of people supporting me on Patreon, I would like to give something back to you guys, or at least acknowledge how much you guys have helped me. I was thinking of getting like a plaque, like an engraved one, and sticking it on the underside of my hood over here, with pretty much every Patreon's name that is in the right tier, of course, because I feel like it's a good way acknowledging that you guys have actually helped a lot of this build because, you know, I do work a part-time job. You know how expensive car parts are, cameras and other like gear, so it does take its toll and Patreon has really been helping me at the moment. So just a little thought, if you guys want to help support this build, help support me and Lachlan, do other stuff to his MR2, pretty much support the channel in any sort of way, click the link in the description below, and yeah. have finally finished painting the engine mount, as you can see over here. Didn't do it like an amazing job because we don't really need to. It just needs to be painted to stop the rust from getting everywhere. No little metal spots, so we're not going to put that in the car until we're actually getting the engine in. We now need to go ahead and replace the transmission seals, which are located obviously on the transmission. I've got 2 new ones from Repco, Kelpro. Don't know if it's a good brand, but I've been using Kelpro seals everywhere. So yeah, just for reference, this is where the seal goes. This is the one on my old transmission. It was leaking, but we're going to be replacing them on that transmission because we don't know if it's leaking or not. If you look closely, you can see that there's a spring in the middle of this seal over here, and if we look down at the transmission seal, you can see that the same spring is just floating there. So definitely going to be a good idea if we replace these seals because they're obviously not going to seal right and we're going to get a lot of problems down the line. Another day's passed. We finally have the dashboard out of the Camry and MR2. I don't know why I just did a circle there, but here's the MR2 gauge cluster, here's the Camry gauge cluster, here's the Nathaniel in the wild.
Serious message.
No, get out of here.
Rex has been keeping me in his garage for 3 weeks. He's not feeding me.
Get out of here, Nathan, go away. We have a boat in the garage, parked in the dock. Literally 5 minutes to get this dash out. MR2s are great when you know what you're doing. So there you go, look at that, no gauge cluster. Oh, that's your water bottle. I was gonna throw that out, because I didn't know it was yours.
Why?
Why? You ready? Currently on the phone to Paul Woods, and I've removed all this stuff. Sweet, look at this. Paul is telling me everything to do. Hell yeah. Paul is telling me everything to do. Hell yeah. I wasn't kidding when I said that this video is going to be all over the place. We need to go downstairs and get that serpentine belt because I did say in the video that I was going to install it, but we've just been caught up with a lot of things. I had work, making this video, fixing Lachlan's car. Yeah, and I'm a little bit stressed because tomorrow is the day that we put the engine in the car, and I just want everything to be perfect so I know exactly what's going on in my head before I do anything. I guess it's a little bit more stressful because this is the first time I've ever done anything like this before, so yeah, just bear with me. Damn, these lights are insanely useful. We're going to be able to get all of this done easily with all this light because it is pitch black outside. So the serpentine belt just goes around here. I hope it's called the serpentine belt, otherwise I'm just going to sound like an idiot. But just goes around these 3 things, runs the alternator, runs the AC, and of course it comes off the crank pulley. I went ahead and bought myself a Gates serpentine belt. Here you go, this is the Gates Micro V 6PK1050 for people that want to do this themselves in their own 3V ZFE. And I don't think I properly explained to you guys what actually went on when I did these dash conversion things. So there's this little board that goes to the back of the RPM thingo-majigo, and you got to take that out of the Camry one and put it behind the MR2 one to read the correct RPM. Because obviously there's a little bit of a slight discrepancy because the engines aren't the same. Let's be real here. So yeah, Paul walked me through that whole entire process. It was actually quite simple. It was easy as removing 2 plastic covers which didn't actually have any screws at all. You just needed to pry them off with your fingers. Then you just need to remove like 3 screws at the back, pry something off this board. This is actually the MR2 one. And then do the same thing with the MR2 one and then plug and play. It's pretty simple. So we're just going to install this now, the Gates serpentine belt. It's as simple as loosening the alternator and then, well, the alternator thingo, and then, yeah, I need to get a picture of what I'm doing because, yeah. And click. And there you go, serpentine / drive belt / whatever belt, accessory belt, whatever you want to call it, is now installed. There you go. Tension is pretty good. I've heard that you're supposed to do it so you could turn it just about a quarter turn, and that seems to be just about right. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments so I know to fix it. We're not going to install the timing cover until it's actually in the car because I've heard that there are only a couple bolts that you can actually get to if you ever want to remove the timing covers. So I'm just going to install it later, I guess, when it's in the car. So alright, well, we're done for tonight. And I firstly want to start off by saying that in the next video, we will be putting the engine in this car. So tomorrow in my time, I'll actually be installing the 3VZ into the MR2. It's going to be very stressful. I still need to get a lot of fluid. I still need to get gearbox fluid, oil for the car, of course. There's a lot of things that I need to do, and I need to do a big checklist tonight and just stay up and get everything perfect because I don't want anything to mess up when we do turn the key and try to crank it over for the first time. The first thing that I'll do when the engine is in is actually measure up these AC lines, and hopefully I can get them done within a small time frame because I want to actually start the engine this week. If I can't get it done in that time frame, then I guess I'll just have to wait and you won't be seeing the engine start for a long time or for a while. But so I'm going to be actually picking up a coolant pipe from this dude that I know, and I don't know if I can reuse this pipe over here. That's something we're going to have to check when we get the engine in. So that pipe should come up to this pipe, hopefully right here, this coolant pipe, this big boy along here. Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, yeah, oh, blah, blah. Oh, there is just so much stuff. Like I said, I know as much as you guys when it comes to this stuff. I've never done an engine swap before, and it's really getting to me how complicated it is. I mean, like I have said, it's a simple swap, and it is a simple swap. It's a very relatively low cost, low involvement swap, but to the beginner, the new person, it is definitely high involvement because I don't know. I've never done half the things that I'm doing in these videos. This is all just me learning as I go. I mean, look at this mess over here. We just got dashboards sitting around, AC lines that I still need to fab up. Yeah, but it'll get done. I think I'll catch you guys in the next one because we need to get some other things going, other things sorted. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one.